This is amazing. All right. Hi, everyone. Um, hello to all my followers, my friends and colleagues whom I have been interacting with them online throughout social media outlet, on Facebook, on TikTok, on YouTube. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I hope you guys have been tremendously blessed and safe and sound. Of course, my name is Karen Lowell. I have been making several videos discussing various topics. Today we're just going to talk about one of the topic that I have already discussed and talk about on series, that is personal identity. We have discussed part 1, part 2 of personal identity. And we've said personal identity or self-identity is a huge and a broad subject that include social and cultural identity. It's include also spiritual, psychological identity. It's include economic and political identity, and of course personal identity. Okay. We discussed that social and cultural identity are values, attributes, and practices that defines and influence personal character, attitude, behaviors, which result as a result of personal belonging to a particular society, community, culture, race, ethnicity, and gender. Basically, your social and cultural identity is a result of where you came from, your community, your ethnicity, your gender, your race, your culture. All this describe and identify who you are, which in turn influence on your behavior, your attitude, and consequently influence your decision making and actions, whether in personal life or professional life. For example, social and cultural identity influences the way friendships are established in various countries, in various societies, in various communities and cultures. It influences also how businesses are operate, and influence how family relationships are formed. So basically, social and cultural identity influences a range of aspects of people's life, and they reflect the laws and the regulations of the country or the nation. So there is also national identity. National identity is an attribute to a place, region, country, or a continent a person belongs to. So, a national identity is where your birthplace, where you grew up, or where you live, your residence. And for example, an African is attributed to an African continent. American is attributed to America, Australia, European, Asian, and etc. So this is a national identity. So a national identity is great and larger than a social and cultural identity, because a national identity or a nation can accommodate several cultures and many societies and many communities, many races and many ethnicities. So national identity is huge and broad and larger than a social identity. So I just thought I'll give you that brief introduction to what we're going to discuss today. So in part one, we discuss social and cultural identity, and part two also, and I talk about my personal identity of who I am, what I like, what I don't like, my interests and my hobbies. I also talk about my career profile. I also stated the reason why it is important to know your personal identity, because it is contributed to your self-esteem, self-confidence, and your success in life. So we're going to talk today about political, economical, spiritual, psychological identity, and much more. So political identity, it consists of personal values and principle that shapes one political philosophy and ideology, which influences their decision and action. So if you I call it political identity because it is we are involved much in politics. Many people are. I may not personally, but many people are, and politics plays a larger role in our life and determined our future, our life, and our jobs, our education, and many things about our life. Politicians that we elect into offices, they play a larger role in our life. So it is important that we identify with those people that hold our values, share our values and principles and philosophies. And so I thought it is not for any reason, but I thought it is very important to know who I am as well, because I have come to understand that there is influence that I have generated throughout my entire life without knowing. I have just come to learn about it after growing up. So it is very important. And even though I have generated that influence, I am not personally benefited from that influence. So so I thought it would be a great idea to tell the world who I am. That's why I started discussing about personal identity, and also to help others people discover their identity, because some people live in identity crisis. Okay, so I thought I will give the reason why I'm talking about this, and let's just go into what we are discussing. So we said personal identity consists of personal values and principles that shapes one's political philosophy, ideology, which influences their decision and action. For example, there are political philosophy and ideology in the world today. These include conservatism, liberalism, socialism, and communism. So these are political philosophies and ideologies that one can identify with or affiliate with. So conservatism, liberalism, socialism, and communism. I will not go much in details about discussing those terms, but you could go on your own research and find out about those political ideologies. So the type of political philosophy and ideology a person holds determine the type of government system they support or they affiliate with, ranging from democratic, socialist, authoritarian, and dictatorship social system of government. So if you hold conservative views or liberal views, socialism views, communism views, they will determine to a large degree of the type of the government that you elect or you support, or you affiliate with, because those views, they will going to help in your life, your family relationship, your job, your education, and your business, your belief system, and this is very important, when people identify or recognize their political views and philosophy, it will help them choose the right government that will represent them well and properly. Okay, so now, though I am not a politician, I have said it over and over, but I tend to support political philosophy and ideology that is somehow conservative and liberal. So, in other words, I am neither completely right nor left, but I consider my political views to be centered. So, just again, I'm not a politician. I tend to support political philosophy, ideology that is somehow conservative and liberal, which means I am not completely right. I'm not in the those who have hold political right views. I'm not completely there, because there are some things that I do not agree with, and I'm not completely left, political left, but I consider myself centered, and that's my political philosophy and ideology. That means I admire political leaders who aspire for a positive change in society. I support those political leaders whose views resonate with mine and lead with integrity and justice and fairness. Furthermore, I admire and support political leaders who master the art of diplomacy and negotiation in solving political conflict and tension. Again, I admire and support political leaders who master the art of diplomacy and negotiation in solving political conflicts and tension. So, diplomacy is very important. Negotiation is very important, especially in political arena, when it comes to addressing issues or tension between nations, regions, communities, and societies, because we live in a such time where there is so much disparities, disagreement between people. But in order to live in a peaceful global community, in a cooperative global community, we need those politicians who are diplomatic and who are skilled in negotiation and communicating views correctly. I admire and support political leaders who employ non-violence and civic strategy to solve issues of conflict and disagreement in society. So I support those political leaders who employ non-violence and civic strategies in resolving conflicts and issues of disagreement in society. So that is my political identity and philosophy. Okay, there is an economic identity. Economic identity is closely linked to political identity and consists of personal values and principles that shapes one economic philosophy and ideology. So, for example, there is a capitalism, socialism, and mixed economic system in the world. So, these are economic philosophy and ideology. That's capitalism, socialism, and mixed economy. Capitalism is an economic philosophy that believes and encourages private ownership of factors of production, free entrepreneurship, and market economy and perfect competition. We all know about capitalism, and that is economic philosophy that a nation or society chooses to operate in, and that is characterized by private ownership of factors of production, that is and free entrepreneurship. That is, people are free to operate businesses, to pay workers, and to produce goods and services and sell them on the free market, that is regulated by the government through just and fair and equitable laws and regulation. And perfect competition, that's meant, there is no monopoly, but everybody is the prices are determined by the supply and the demand laws. That's mean, that is pure economic, but that is perfect competition. That is, there is no one who is dominating the market, for example, or determining the price. The prices are determined by the supply and demand forces of the market, and regulated by the government. That's meant there is no one is above and there's no one below. So that is capitalism. Businesses thrive if businesses all makes the profits. They are free to accumulate as much as they can, which is nowadays we have billionaires and millionaires, and they earn those money through legitimate business business and in the free market, and it's fine. That is under the capitalism economic system. Socialism, on the other hand, is economic philosophy where the state own factors of production, limited entrepreneurship, and command economy where the state regulate and control the market with imperfect competition. Okay, socialism is another economic philosophy where most of the businesses are owned by the nation, by the country, or the ruling party, for example. And that's mean machineries, land, human resources, and entrepreneurs are owned by the country or the government. And the workers just stand up for employment. And no one is free to operate a business and to earn the profit. So everything is distributed equally among the population. So that is socialism, economic philosophy. So people are not free to accumulate wealth and riches more than others, but everything is distributed equally, which is it can be good in some extent, but the fact that limited entrepreneurship, that even if you have a good idea to start a business, you are not allowed or you're not free to operate that business, but the government um, can operate that business, and then it can give you some distribution or income. There is no competition. That's means there is imperfect competition. People are not allowed to compete one another, because basically there is one only owner of business, and that is the government. So in the market, there is a competition. If you produce goods and services that are of high quality, you could actually sell more goods and services, and you could earn a more profit than the other business. But in this economic system, government is the sole owner of the business and the factors of production, that is land, properties, machineries, even labor. So this is one type of economic system. And then there is a mixed economic system. This is a combination of the two economic philosophies that we discuss, that is both capitalism and socialism. So there is no good or bad economic social philosophy. However, people tend to prefer, based on what gives them the advantage. Capitalism is more prevalent in the world. There's many countries that are operating under the capitalism economic system, because there is perfect competition. That means there is a free market, a competition, and that in free entrepreneurship. That means you could operate a business, you could earn a larger profit, and the only thing that you could do is to pay taxes to the government. But there is no one actually is dictating where to operate, how to produce goods and service. But as long as you're operating under the rules and the laws of the government, you are free to earn as much as you want and accumulate as much wealth as you could. However, on socialism, that is not available. You could not accumulate as much wealth as you want, but everything is distributed equal to the population and to the citizen of the country. So I will not go much into this detail discussing the disadvantage and advantages, but I've just given you. So what people choose is to operate those two economic systems alongside. That is mixed economy. There is no pure capitalism and there is no pure socialism, which is I think it is going very well in some of the countries, and that's why I said there is no good or bad economic system or policy. there is disadvantage and advantages. So now I am a person, I describe myself as a capitalist. That is, I support capitalism economic system where one is free to establish and operate any type of business and in a free market and a perfect competition where one can enjoy the profit or take the responsibility of a loss if the business loses. That is the capitalism. In the socialism, you know, the government is the one that operates the business. If it makes profit, the government enjoys the surplus, and if it loses, the government also takes the responsibility of deficit. And that is, I think, is the advantage of why nations or countries or people choose socialism. But when under the capitalism, the business can lose or cannot succeed, and therefore, if you have borrowed a lot of money, then you will be able to ask to pay it back. And yes, there is a huge risk because the business also involves huge risk. So I am that person. I'm a capitalist, and I would like to operate under that system where you are free to establish a business and to operate a business of any kind in a free market and perfect competition, where the prices are determined by supply and demand forces and limited government intervention, only where there is there is a breach of some laws. Okay, in brief, I believe in the dignity of labor and hard working and investing using one's qualification, knowledge, skills, and experience, and ability to earn money and accumulate wealth and paying taxes. So, in my opinion, I believe socialism encourages people to be unemployed or encourages people not to work as long as there is a distribution of wealth and income equally among the population, among the people. That will discourage people from working. So the people who are working are the one that actually will bear much more responsibility. So, but under capitalism, you are compelled to work hard, to labor, and to operate a business or to invest, and accumulate wealth and riches as much as you can. The only obligation that you have is to pay taxes to the government. So that I am that person. I enjoy the dignity of labor and hard working under capitalism system. Yes, I believe in operating a legitimate business and engaging in honest investment strategies to earn a profit, dividends, and interest. So that is basically my economic philosophy, and that's how I view the world. I believe in a capitalist system where people are encouraged to operate business and produce goods and services and sell them at reasonable prices and earn a profit or dividend. The only obligation is to pay workers, pay taxes to the government, and enjoy the profit if you make a business succeed, or bear the losses of business if the business fail. Now we go into psychological and spiritual identity. Psychological and spiritual identity is considered a part of social and cultural identity. So, spiritually, I describe myself as a Catholic because I grew up under a Catholic um, church, and I'm also a born again Christian with a strong faith and belief in God, in whom I trust and confide in to help me overcome and succeed wherever I face adverse circumstances and challenging situations. So, spiritual and psychological identity is a part of personal, social, and cultural identity of a person. And spiritual aspect is a very important in every individual's life. Uh, some people do not practice spirituality, but majority of population of the world are spiritual and practice or affiliated with um, a religion. So I describe myself as a Catholic and also I am a born again Christian with strong belief and faith in God that I trust and tend to whenever I face challenges or problem, through prayers, through fasting, and etc. Going to church as well. Psychologically, I describe myself as optimistic and ambitious person who has positive attitude toward challenges and problem with a strong belief and faith in God. So psychologically, I am optimistic, I am positive, I am ambitious. That's mean, I have a positive attitude whenever I face challenges and problem because of my Christian beliefs in God. So I consider challenges and problems are part of life, but with patience, perseverance, endurance, I have learned from the Bible that you could actually overcome challenges and with help of God. So that's who I am. I am always hopeful that the future is going to be brighter, the future is going to be better, even when I am facing challenges. I describe myself also as emotionally controlled person. This is a new term that I have discovered. I didn't know it before, but it's perfectly fit with my description of my personality. It's meant I can be completely happy, when something good happen in my life. I can extremely be happy, which some people describe as naive or foolish, but it's not. It's just a personality. Or I can completely be sad. If somebody made me upset, I can be completely sad, and which is I I think is a kind of weakness that I needed to overcome. So that's something that I thought I will say that because it's a part of my personal identity. I can extremely be happy or extremely be sad. I can't be in between. So it's something that I need to work in because it's better to be in between. Okay, I also describe myself as a curious and knowledge seeking individual who likes to research, to explore, to discover, and learn new things for personal development and general education. So I think this is people who know me, they will absolutely agree with me that I am a curious person and knowledge seeking because I like to always study, to research, to explore, to discover, and learn new things for my personal development and general education, and also to help others, because when you are educated, when you possess general knowledge, you not only benefit, but the other people benefit from you as well. I am also a diligent, detail oriented, and perfectionist person who aspire and emphasize sound planning, adequate organization of projects or event, and performance of tasks and responsibility with high degree of accuracy, precision, excellent, and high quality. I don't know. I did not how, I did not have this kind of attitude or behavior growing up, but after some time I grow up, I become an adult, I become diligent, I become detail oriented and perfectionist. I always try to to be a perfect person. That's mean, it's something that put me in problem with other people, because some people, they just live haphazardly or just anyhow, but that is not who I am. I am an organized person. I like to plan, to organize things, whether it's tasks or projects or responsible or duties or events, you know and I put too much emphasis and to be accurate, to be precise, to be excellent and high quality. This is also something that I learned from my mentor and a coach, who is my spiritual mentor, Pastor Chris, because he always teaches that Christian life is a life of excellence, is a life of perfection, is a life of diligence and righteousness, and so forth. So I am inspired by those teachings and apply them into my life. Finally, in terms of leadership, I describe myself as charismatic. That means charismatic is someone who influences people for a positive change. I describe myself as innovative. That means, with the technology nowadays, innovation is a must. So I am innovative, even it may not be in the eyes of other people, but I consider myself as innovative. I'm creative. I use creative thinking in problem solving. So I am organized, like I said. I'm caring and compassionate leader. So that's mean I empathize, I care, and I have compassion on other people, especially those who are vulnerable, those who are experiencing pain and suffering of various kind. Furthermore, I am systematic. That means I follow process. When doing something, I follow due diligence. I do things in sequences. That means if you remember Ford's philosophy of mass production, that's who I am. Beginning from the start to the finish of anything. So that's who I am, a systematic. That means I follow the system, I follow process and due diligence. So I am classic also, conventional, traditional. Conventional, that I mean I do things on a conventional way, on the normal way of doing things. Traditional also, not very traditional, but I can be traditional. That means I hardly change, So I think that is the right word. and logical. I follow logics of things. I am conservative. Like I said before. Conservative does mean, I'm a family man. I, for example, I value um, the they call it the family, the relatives. I respect especially uncles, aunties, cousins. I'm that kind of person. Okay, now there is something that like I wanted to discuss. This is very important. This is love relationship. Who I am, how do I establish love relationship? So there is this website that I went to and helped me a lot about love relationship, because sometimes it is very important to tell people how, you know do you love, you initiate love relationship, how do you live in a married relationship. Yeah, so there is a study that I took and has revealed that I connect more mentally and emotionally to my partner, whether it's a wife or a girlfriend. That means I connect mentally and emotionally to my partner, wife or girlfriend. This means that I value the kind of partner who share the same vision, beliefs, and values and principle and ambition with me. So that means if you wanted to choose the right partner in life, it must be a partner who hold the same views, hold the same principle and philosophies and ambition with you. If not, then whatever you're going to do, it will not work, because you need that the support of the person to help you achieve your vision, your dreams, and your vision. And they have to have the same principle and values. So this is the reason actually I started this series of personal identity, is to help me with my family, my friends, and the people who would like to cooperate and collaborate with me, to know who I am, whether it's in spiritual life, my Christian church or community, or my professional life, my academic life. You know, people have to know who you are. I think this is a very unique. No one has ever done this, but I thought people don't know who I am, even though there's something that I have come to discover. The fame that I've come to is not something that started from now, started from a long time ago, but I have been uh, I've been kept in the dark, I should say. I don't know why, but things happen for a reason. So I prefer a partner who is always grateful, appreciative for little or great things in life. So I like my partner to be grateful and appreciative, because I am a grateful person. If you do something for me, I will thank you for it. You give me a gift, you do me a service, whatever it is, I will thank you for it. You know, I'm that type of person. So I would like my partner to be that kind of person as well. So I like the kind of person who understands the value of appreciating and praising one's effort, compliment, gifts, and achievement. So yes, sometimes people do not appreciate the little thing that we do for others, you know, whether it's a family or friends. So if you're living with someone, or you are in a relationship with someone, you want that someone to appreciate and value the efforts that you put into the relationship, building the relationship, to compliment, to say thank you, to say those kind of things, to encourage you, you know and to thank you for the gift, if there is a gift that in the relationship. And achievement as well. If you have achieved something, you've done something remarkable, you need that person to praise you, and so you can continue to achieve and continue with your dream and vision. Sometimes those kind of things lack they are not available in people relationship, and relationship do not thrive and eventually break down. So I wish, a lot of people learn about appreciation and gratitude in relationship, because people take people's efforts for granted, and it is does not help the relationship grow. Okay, furthermore, I like my partner to engage and enjoy hobbies, activities, and interests together. If you have a partner, if you in relationship, you want to do something interesting together, whether it's a hobby, whether it's interest activity, such as going to the movies, playing sport, listening to the music, watching a movie, playing gym, performing gym and fitness exercise, or dancing, reading books, traveling, attending social gathering and event together. So there's a variety of activities and interests that people could do, because to fill in the time, but if you guys are there and watching each other's eye and there is nothing interesting going on, then it become boring, and then you develop argument which is unnecessary, and it's not healthy, and it will not going to help the relationship grow. So as I said, I'm a creative person, so even I put creativity in relationship, because it is important, it is necessary, to put creativity in relationship, you know yeah. So that's who I am. This means I desire the person, my partner, to be spontaneous and develop some talents and gift and skill. Yeah, people have to encourage one another. So if there is a gift or talent or skill that the person possesses, but it is underdeveloped, your partner actually can help you develop that talent and gift and skill, by encouraging you and supporting you emotionally, physically, and financially. And I like that kind of partner in my life. The person who encourages me and say, look, Garang, go and do it. It doesn't matter how difficult and how high it is, the goal or the vision, you know. I need that kind of partner, and it's very essential. And I can support as well if my partner has a talent and a gift and a skill that underdeveloped. I will be there to support them and encourage them, develop it and grow. So I connect to my partner by expressing love emotionally, physically, and financially. So, of course, as partners, you need to that emotional support, physical support, and financial support as well. So, and in order for the relationship to grow, it can be through professing love to one another verbally. Verbally, that is through communication. You tell each other, you know, like affection, uh, so I love you, and you are important to me, and you are beautiful. These are verbal expression. You are the most handsome man in the world, and yes, all these things. I like my partner to tell me that, because that will actually yeah, tell, encourage me and allow me to love my partner more, and vice versa. You need to tell your partner the same thing. And physical touch and intimacy, there must be a physical touch as well, yeah, because that is very important. And service, people need to serve one another. A partner A man can do something for a woman can do something for a man, whether in the house or in the outside. You know, it's the same. Cooking, you know, a partner can cook to partners can cook to each other. um, yeah, cleaning the house is service, and much more. There's a lot of service that can be done. It's a form of showing love and affection to one another. And financial, you know, financial need, you know, somebody when somebody is in need financially, your partner will be there to support them if they have, and this is really important. So that is my love relationship. What kind of a person I am in terms of relationship. So that's it. I hope, guys, I have entertained you. I hope, guys, I have educated you. I hope, guys, I have inspired you through this video, you know, and I wish you guys going to enjoy listening to this podcast, to this video, to this discussion, and make a positive change in your life. Thank you very much. God bless you. See you next time.